Is the electricity still in the air out in the Bay Area on the back of the Facebook IPO?
I think nothing can deflate the optimism in Silicon Valley.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Not even an IPO that broke issue.
It doesn't matter. People don't care about stuff like that. All they care about is $100 billion and that companies with zero revenue like Instagram and Pinterest and companies that you've never heard of that people are talking about in Silicon Valley are highly valuable.
Right. That's the only thing they care about. So are you saying that all they care about is the money, or all they care about is that there's still the hot, sexy next thing going on?
I mean, I think the thing that really struck me about being in the Bay Area is that there is this sense of optimism, and people don't really care or aren't really touched by discussions about worries in Europe or worries about the economy at large. All they know is that there's lots of energy and enthusiasm and startups fomenting in Silicon Valley and in San Francisco.
Does that mean that it's just a different mindset, or are they in effect living in a bubble? Is this just a social media bubble 2.0, or whatever you want to call it?
I think it's both. I think the mentality is different, and I think that they are living in a little bit of a bubble untouched by the rest of the troubles infecting the world and the country. Right.
Now, do you believe by the time you head back home in San Francisco, once the IPO broke issue price this morning, and I don't know where it's going to close, but let's assume that it doesn't close above 38 for some time to come. Who knows? Well, do you think there will be a change in mentality, or do you think people go, so what?
I think people will say, so what? I mean, nobody in San Francisco or in Silicon Valley is going to say Facebook is a failure because it broke through the IPO price. I mean, you know that this is just kind of a trading phenomenon where once it falls below 38, people just press sell out of habit. I don't think that Facebook isn't less valuable as a company today than it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago, even if the stock market value is less than it was on Friday.
Well, it is less valuable than it was. I mean, that just in the raw numbers.
Yes, all right.
In the raw numbers, you'd have a hard time proving to me that the thing was worth, $38 a share to begin with.
That's a separate question.
That's a separate question. Let's talk about the San Francisco scene, the one that you are the part of right now. Have you been using these various social media, Instagram and Pinterest more since you moved out there, or do you feel like you still have a healthy disregard or contempt for the social media phenomenon?
Well, I don't know if it's contempt. I think it's just I'm too stupid and I have other things to do than to fixate on whatever hot startup is going on at that particular moment. But I have tried some of these new things, Pinterest and Path and Instagram and things that I'm probably too uncool to even know what they are. But I've tried to use some of them since I've been out there, so I can at least know what people are talking about at cocktail parties.
Yeah, and by the way, at Berman, I had a fight with Berman about this very subject. I asked him, why do you use Facebook, Berman? We're showing some nice shots of the Golden Gate Bridge, which you've missed.
Oh, nice.
You missed it. I had this discussion.
Always fogged in.
And Berman was like, well, Evan, you have to be doing this now if you want to know what's going on. And I said, no, I don't. I can still get away with reading old books and watching old movies. And he said, well, maybe you can. Can you do that in San Francisco still?
You really can't. I just a short story that I think will upset my friends in Waterloo, Ontario. I am probably the only person in the Bay Area who has a BlackBerry. And it's really just an embarrassing marker of my East Coastness that I don't have the latest and greatest gadgets.
But now you wear it as a badge of pride.
I do a little bit. It's my sign of backwardness.
Shira?
Old schoolness.
Shira, we got to run, but thank you very much for joining
us
today
pleasure.
on Mean Street.